My beloved child, listen. Heaven has paused, the winds have stilled, and the breath of God hangs heavy in the air because there is a message for you. A message too holy to be ignored, too urgent to be delayed. I, Archangel Michael, come not with whispers but with thunder wrapped in mercy. This is not an ordinary moment. This is not poetic comfort. This is divine revelation. A confession is rising in the spirit. One you need to hear with your soul wide open. Someone somewhere is speaking your name, not in mockery, not in slander as they once did, but with trembling truth. Their heart has broken open under the weight of what they once hid. And now words once buried are rising like incense, and heaven has received them. There have been seasons you walked through with your head bowed and your heart bruised, carrying the ache of being misunderstood, judged, and falsely represented. You carried it silently even when it fractured you inside. You smiled through wounds, you kept showing up with light even when darkness surrounded your name. They spoke of you in places you weren't invited into. They crafted images of you with shadowed motives, and their words painted portraits that bore no resemblance to the truth of who you are. But child of the light, I tell you now, God saw it all. Heaven recorded every syllable, every twisting of your image, every lie spoken in pride or ignorance. And now justice has awakened. The spiritual atmosphere has begun to shift. What once worked against you is now being exposed by divine hands. The scroll of your life has been pulled from the vaults of silence and opened before the angels. I stood watch as one you may know or once trusted began to confess. Not out of fear, but because their soul could no longer hold the weight of deception. The nights that brought you tears are now bringing them repentance. The dreams that brought you agony are now bringing them unrest. Their heart is cracking under the pressure of hidden truth. They are confessing not because they were caught, but because grace has cornered them. Do not think this is accidental. This moment is sacred. It has been ordained, prepared, and preserved for such a time as this. You were never forgotten, never abandoned, never invisible to God. Every tear you cried in isolation was a prayer that reached the throne. Every sigh was interpreted in heaven as intercession. And now, because you held on, because you didn't let bitterness bury your love, because you chose to stay soft when you had every right to harden, now vindication is being written across your name. The lies are unraveling. The truth is catching flame. The confession is no longer a secret. It is a roar in the spirit, and angels are echoing its sound. This is your time to rise, not in anger, not in pride, but in radiance. You are not being lifted because of who opposed you, but because of how you remained faithful. You didn't retaliate, you prayed. You didn't fight to be seen, you chose to be still. And that stillness was heard in heaven. That grace was noted by the divine. Now what was once used to harm you is becoming the very foundation of your elevation. Your name is being washed in light. Your image is being healed before the very eyes that once saw it. Through distorted lenses, doors are opening. Conversations are shifting. The air around your life is becoming clear again. This message is not for someone else. It is for you, specifically, divinely, intentionally. You were meant to hear this now. Not a moment earlier, not a moment later. Heaven has waited for this alignment. The confession being made about you is unlocking doors that were sealed, lifting veils that clouded your path, restoring relationships. Heaven has approved, and releasing blessings that were held back, not as punishment, but as protection, until truth had its day. Someone said things they regret. They know it now. Their soul is crying out for redemption. And while they may never have the courage to tell you face to face, heaven is allowing you to hear their confession through the Spirit. This is the mercy of God, not just for them, but for you, because healing can only begin when the truth has been made known. And now it has. You have not survived misunderstanding. You have outlived it. You have not only endured distortion, you are now being refined by divine truth. The wind is no longer against you. It is carrying you. The silence has ended. The scrolls are open. This is the season of your emergence. You are no longer required to dim your light to fit the comfort of those who feared it. You are no longer asked to explain your heart to those who made no room to understand it. You are free. Free to walk in your truth, to rise in peace, to stand in light without apology. This is your confirmation. This is your turning point. You are not who they said you were. You are more. You are loved more deeply than you know. The divine has always known your name. The time has come for others to see what heaven has seen all along. And it begins now, God says to you. Trust this moment. Trust what is unfolding. Even when it feels like a storm, remember the storm is only washing away the dust that tried to bury you. What was meant to destroy you has only made room for glory. What was spoken against you is now being transformed into the very words that will testify to your purpose. Walk forward, child of the Most High. Do not turn back. Do not shrink. Do not carry shame for what others did in blindness. The light is yours now. The restoration is yours. The healing is here. And I, Archangel Michael, stand guard over you. My sword has been drawn not in wrath, but in protection. My presence is not symbolic, it is real. I am with you now in the name of the Almighty to declare. This is not a joke. This is not fantasy. This is heaven, and heaven is speaking to you. The divine message does not end with revelation. It continues into restoration, into transformation, into the sacred unfolding of what was always written for you. Now that the confession has risen, the realm of the Spirit is moving swiftly. The timing you once thought was delayed was in truth divine precision. Heaven never forgot your name. The prayers you thought vanished into the void were in fact collected in the hands of angels and offered on altars of gold. The tears you shed in silence became the ink that rewrote your destiny. This is the time when the heavens are not only speaking, but responding. The gates that were shut are beginning to creak open. Doors that remained sealed by confusion are now unlocking, not because you pushed, but because the truth has arrived to knock them open. You don't have to force your way in. You don't have to plead to be seen anymore. The light that lives in you has grown too bright to be hidden. It is shining now in realms far beyond your reach, and people, some you never even met, are speaking your name with reverence, with respect, and with awe. The same mouths that once repeated lies are beginning to tell the truth. Not because they were forced, but because the Spirit of God is touching hearts in places you've never walked. The divine is working in unseen ways, and though the transformation may begin in whispers, it will rise like a trumpet. What was once private will become public, not to shame, but to exalt. The truth is not meant to hurt you. It is meant to release you. And you are being released now from everything that tried to cage your identity. You may feel tired from the waiting. You may still feel the residue of the pain, the echo of betrayal. But heaven is pouring balm on your wounds. You are being anointed. not just with healing, but with authority. You are not only being restored, you are being raised. You are stepping into a version of yourself that was always there, but hidden beneath layers of others, opinions, fears, and judgments. Do not be surprised when people begin to approach you differently. Do not be startled when those who once misunderstood you now seek your wisdom. This is not a performance. This is prophecy being fulfilled. The shift is real. The divine timeline has accelerated, and you, beloved, are at the center of it. You are not just walking into a season of personal healing. You are becoming a vessel of healing for others. The same people who once whispered about you will now witness the glow of God upon you. They will not understand how it happened, but they will know that something sacred surrounds you. And it does, because heaven has wrapped you in light. And so, child of divine purpose, walk with dignity. Now lift your head. You do not need to fight for what is already yours. Let grace speak for you. Let the angels guide your path. Let God finish what He has already begun. You are not here by accident. You are not receiving this word by chance. The very winds that carry this message to you have been stirred by the hand of God. Trust this, rest in it. Do not rush it. It is not a flood to drown you. It is a flood to cleanse you. It is not a fire to consume you. It is a fire to refine you. You are in the hands of the Holy, and in His hands all things are made new. Archangel Michael says again, this is not a joke, this is not to be taken lightly. This is divine alignment unfolding before your eyes. The confession has been spoken in the Spirit. The release has begun. Now you must make room in your life to receive what was delayed, to embrace what was denied, to accept what was divinely reserved. Everything is changing, and you, yes, you, are the reason the heavens rejoice today. You are being positioned, you are being seen, you are being called, and you are being celebrated, not for your perfection, but for your perseverance. Not for your loudness, but for your love. Not for your control, but for your surrender. This is your scroll. This is your moment. This is your divine reintroduction to the world, not as who they said you were, but as who heaven always knew you to be. The trumpet has sounded. The confession has spoken. The blessing is on the way. And the glory of your restoration will not be hidden. Breathe now, beloved. Let peace find its home in you again. Let hope return to the spaces that once held sorrow. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are exactly where heaven has aligned you to be. And now, with grace in your bones and truth in your breath, walk forward into the new beginning. You are restored. You are rising. You are ready.